All right, welcome into the locker. Excuse me. Welcome into the rant booth right here on A2D Radio. We're up on the boardwalk at All Campus in Ocean City, New Jersey, as we are each and every Wednesday. John Coyle, the owner, has us up here every Wednesday talking to the people, talking sports on a Wednesday night in Ocean City. And I'm joined today with Rod Wadweller. And Rod, welcome in, man.
Yeah.
You guys did a great job filling in last week. I couldn't make it. My grandson is playing at Cooperstown in a tournament up for the ceremonies. They were up there. It was a big baseball weekend. Of course, the Hall of Fame induction ceremony was last Sunday up at Cooperstown, and my grandson was playing baseball there, and so that's why I wasn't here.
That's a dream come true.
But I heard you guys had a great show last week, and we're at it again. We're at the All Campus on the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey. A2D Radio. We're on all the major platforms. And Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch TV, you name it, we're on it, Facebook. And the show is fun, Rod. It's interactive.
Yeah.
And the motto is no notes, right?
Yeah, no notes.
And we agree to disagree. So we'll see how we get along today.
Yep.
Actually, this is fun because I'm old, you're young,
Yeah.
and we're gonna have conflicting opinions and ideas on things. So I'll pick your brain. You'll answer it. We hope we get a lot of participation from the folks today. The boardwalk is it was a hot day today.
Yeah.
There was a lot of clouds, but the sun was out, in and out, and it was hot. They get a little breeze, but a nice, beautiful day. And Rod, the Phillies played today and won.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Got a series win against the Braves, who the Braves have just been the best team in baseball since the beginning of June.
Now, Rod, I got to tell you, there's been a lot. We're approaching the trade deadline, right?
Yeah.
August 2nd. And the Phillies have got some holes. So if I ask you, I'm going to ask you to put your GM hat on today. You're going to be the GM of the Phillies. You're going to be Dave Dombrowski.
That's the dream come true right there.
All right. So I'm going to say to you, what is the number one need for the Philadelphia Phillies? And, of course, our question of the day on A2D Radio up here at the rant booth is, do you believe that the Phillies will make the Major League Playoffs? All right, MLB Playoffs. Do you agree or disagree? Do you believe the Phillies will make Major League Baseball playoffs? Do you agree or disagree? Let's start you off by asking you that question, Rod.
I'm going to 100% agree to the poll. Given Sam Folt's comments yesterday, he basically hinted at the fact that we will be excited come next week. He said it without saying it, so that's an implication.
So you're reading between the lines.
I'm reading between the lines that a big move is coming.
That's not wishful thinking, I guess, or I mean, when you have to read between the lines and it's not stated clearly, there's a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean.
Well, I just look at the constant errors that this team has had over the past 5 years, and the collapses of August and September where they've had these division leads and it's just disappeared in the wind. What they lacked was just a consistent contact hitter in the lineup. They lacked a consistent leadoff hitter. They lacked a consistent center fielder. And I think the biggest key to us making the playoffs is going out and getting a Brian Reynolds-esque player from Pittsburgh or a Ramon Laureano guy from Oakland. One of those guys.
Mr. Wing said, Rod, is that a new nickname?
So
it's really Jimmy.
It's Jimmy.
But Rod,
we could call Rod.
Rodweller. I call you Roddy. I call you Roddy Piper, whatever.
Yeah.
This is the first time that you and I have had the pleasure to work together.
Yeah.
We're up on the boardwalk at All Campus. Come on up or participate by sending us messages. We're on all the major platforms, A2D Radio, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you name it, we're on it. All right, so now I'm going to ask you to put the big question is, what is the greatest need for the Philadelphia Phillies? You agree to the question, you believe that they will make the playoffs, but they need more. This team is 51-47. They're in a virtual tie right now with the Cardinals for that last wild card spot. Of course, the Cardinals play the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. Yeah. And, of course, Wainwright is going against Guzman tonight.
Yeah.
And so, it's not, that's a pretty good matchup. All Wainwright's 6-8, I believe. And Guzman's, I believe he's 507-7. I did take it down a couple of notes today because I wanted to make sure I don't really follow the Blue Jays all that much. No. But for up here on A2D Radio. I wanted to make it clear. So the Phillies are the virtual tie for that last wild card spot. So you're the GM. You're Dave Dombrowski. What do we need? One thing. You can't give me, we need this, we need that, we need that. One thing.
So if I could only have one thing, I think the pitching's been good enough to be able to sustain a little bit of a playoff run. I'm not saying we're winning the World Series, but the pitching has been good. You don't need all 5 starters come playoff time. You need a solid 2. You need a solid 1 and a solid 2. And then you need that 3 and then a 4 guy.
Roddy, I think you need 3. I mean, you need 3.
Well,
you need 3.
Well, Wheeler and Nola.
You have to have 3.
Yeah, Wheeler and Nola are going to be those guys. And I think Gibson and Suarez can fill in. And who knows about Eflin? Who knows if he's going to come back this year? It doesn't look good for Eflin. But the bullpen has shown extreme promise.
Kyle Gibson got the win last night. And, I was working last night, so I didn't get a chance to see the Phillies game, but I listened to him on radio. Mm-hmm. And to see Aaron Nola or hear Aaron Nola give up a couple home runs in the way he did, like Aaron Nola, he's been pitching really well, and he hasn't had any run support. Then last night when they need him the most, he gets, I don't know, he gets shelled, but he got the loss and he gave up 5 runs.
Yeah, I would say it's a shelling.
Really?
I would say it's a shelling. I don't know.
And I'm from the camp that good pitching outdoes good hitting. So the Philadelphia Phillies lineup, I mean, if you look up and down their lineup, and I did this on my radio show, The Locker Room on 97.3 ESPN, if you look up and down the lineup, not one person except for Alec Bohm is hitting over 260.
Yeah. No, I hear it. And once we get Segura back, we're going to have that contact hitting presence right there. Once Bryce Harper comes back in early September, he's going to be a 300 hitter.
Now, Michael, I don't know if it's Cabot Cabot wants to know, are you counting on Harper being back for the run? I would have to say I am. I mean, even though he's a little behind, he didn't get the pins taken out during the week as he thought he was going to. So that set him back a little bit. But the prognosis is good, and it looks like. But you know what? It's his thumb, and remember, you got to grip that hand, and it's his power hand. So I don't know, Michael. I don't know, Rod. I mean, I don't know if I'm counting on him to come back and be the guy he was.
Yeah. So I look at it this way: if he knew that there would be a chance where he wouldn't come back fully healthy, returning to his MVP Bryce Harper form, I feel like he would have just opted out of this season and he would have got the elbow surgery so that he would be back in time for next season. I think that's what.
And Amanda chimes in. Amanda Stevenson says, I have a question. Do you think Bryce Harper will be back soon? And also, what did you guys think of the game today? And also, do you think the Phillies will be going to the playoffs? And, of course, Amanda, that is our question. Do you think the Phillies will make the Major League Baseball playoffs? And you agree. Yeah. And guess what? I hate to be the naysayer, but as of right now, without Bryce Harper – and without their ability, like in their offensive lineup, I mean, Schwarber's got 31 home runs, but his RBI production's down because he's in the leadoff hall. They don't have a traditional leadoff guy. They can't steal bases. Defensively, they're weak. I mean, all that stuff. Like, I'm a Phillies fan, you guys. You know I love the Phillies. But in my heart of hearts, I just don't think they have enough because – if you say the one thing that they need, you say another bat or a center fielder.
Center fielder, that's going to be your leadoff hitter.
Okay, I think they need I think they need another pitcher, a solid. Who's the guy from the Reds?
Luis Castillo.
Castillo, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Get a Castillo in here. That would solidify. They'll have 3 solid starters, and then they'd have. The 4th and 5th spot would be very competitive between the 3 guys they have left. Eflin, if he comes back, Gibson, and
Suarez.
Yeah,
and if Eflin were to come back and we were to land Castillo, which I think Castillo is going to be a Yankee. I think the Yankees are going to go all in on Castillo.
I see it. I think the Mets are going to go after Soto.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how do you turn down? He turned down $415 million, something like that?
Yeah.
For 15, it just shows you he doesn't want to be with the Nationals.
Oh yeah, I mean, who would?
Right, who would? Right? Would you want to be with the Nationals?
I would not want to be with the Nationals.
It's ridiculous to think that if you're going to give somebody, like if I'm a superstar and they're going to give me that kind of money, I also want to have pieces around me to help win. I want to win. That's my first and foremost. Yeah. I mean, and that's actually Rod, that's comforting to know that
it's admirable,
right?
Because who knows if he's going to get that type of guaranteed money anywhere else. So for him to say that I'm going to turn this down because I want to go to a winner, that tells you that he has the right mindset. I mean, he's already won at 19 years old,
right?
World Series MVP.
He won it, right? He won it, and so he's about winning. And
Yeah.
and I know. Look, I like J.T. Realmuto. To me, still brings it, even though he's struggling. He's not the same guy he was 2 years ago. I still think he's there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got it. It's not happening for some reason. I think that Reese Hoskins could be a piece that you might want to move.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's been so inconsistent, but he's a Philly guy. We've had people chiming in here. Jake says, "What up, boys? I'm going to agree with the poll. Gene will be back in a week and or so, and Harper will hopefully that's the key word right there. Will hopefully be back by the end of August." And yeah, I'm gonna disagree with the poll, but I do it with a heavy heart.
Yeah. So when it comes to the Harper injury, if he doesn't come back this year, this entire Phillies training staff just fumbled everything. Because if you knew that he wasn't going to be able to come back fully healthy, you should have told him right away, you're not going to come back healthy, get the elbow surgery so you're back in time next year. So
but here's another thing, Rod. I had Dr. Nathan Bodine on my show. He's a hand specialist. He's a orthopedic surgeon in virtual. He came on the show, The Locker Room with Billy Schwarber on 97.3 ESPN. And he explained all the three types of breaks that you can have, that you can suffer, and each one's time frame for rehabilitation and the success rate and everything. And he told me when he appeared on the show, he couldn't tell me what he told me, that he knew exactly what kind of break he had, but he was under restraint. I don't want to say gag order, but secrecy.
Yeah.
He was allowed. And he said, hypothetically, if it was this break, well, after I spoke to him, once we got off the air, he made it clear, and I was allowed to say it the next week, and I can say it now, that he knew exactly what type of break he has. So what he was explaining is exactly what Bryce Harper has. So I don't think they really fumbled it. They according to the doctor, everything was in a good time frame. You know what I mean? It wasn't like you're because they think they can get him back and get him back healthy in 8 weeks. So you're not going to put him on a shelf for the whole year.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Yeah, and
so I don't want to blame the train. I don't want
to.
I don't want to blame the training staff. You're kind of in they're in a wait and see mode.
Yeah. So that leads me to believe that he will come back, and that tells me that I think they will go out and do things at the deadline to improve this team. And that just leads me to believe that they will make the playoffs finally after 10 years. The last time they made the playoffs, I was 11 years old.
All right, we're up here at All Campus on the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey. A2D Radio. It's the Rant Booth with Rod Weller, or Jimmy Rod Weller. We call him Rod. I like that, for Rod Brindamore.
Yeah,
right,
that's
Brindy.
awesome.
Billy Schwein from 97.3 ESPN, The Locker Room, on Saturdays and Sundays. We're up here on the Rant Booth, and the premise of this whole show is to get people involved. They can rant with us, Rod, and they can come in and if they rant with us, get 10% off their hat.
Yeah.
So it's a great concept here. And of course, we have fun because normally we get to watch a Phillies game and comment on it.
Yeah.
Now, they played earlier today. Kyle Gibson got the win. He's now 6-4, and he has his ERA's up there. He gave up a dinger through 96 pitches. Rod, let me ask you a question about Gibson. He's inconsistent.
Oh yeah.
So you have three pitchers, Nola, Wheeler, or let's go Wheeler, Nola, and Gibson. Wheeler, Nola, and Gibson are all three capable of being lights out leaders, right? Right. So if you're Dombrowski, you're probably going to say, well, I got my three pitchers, but I need so much other stuff. I need a center fielder. I need another big bat, a right-handed bat, maybe, right?
Yeah.
A
reliever.
I
think you could always.
I mean,
you never go
Brogdon
wrong
and
with
Hand
that
did
in a
really
reliever.
well today. Andrew Belletti pitched well.
Yeah.
But I mean, and by the way, our bullpen, the Phillies bullpen, is like, I think sixth or seventh in the league now overall.
Yeah, it's shocking.
I did it. Now that not with the last two games, but on Sunday, I think their combined ERA was in the lower threes.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you,
as a complete unit, that's not bad.
Yeah, but if Andrew Bellotti and Nick Nelson and Juris Familia are pitching big innings, come September 27th, we're not making the playoffs. I'll just tell you that right now.
And so that's why I hate being negative. Negadelphia is what they call being in Philadelphia. I hate being negative. I want them to be in the playoffs so bad. It's just that with all the adversity, with Eflin being out, with Harper being out, and every team has injuries, especially the Mets. Look what they've had to overcome over the years.
I'm waiting for them to just collapse.
I'm not losing it. I'm not losing sleep over their injury report. But everybody has injuries.
Yeah.
But I think the injury to Harper is so much more detrimental to the team, costly than it. But remember the Braves, they lost Andrew Jones, or not Andrew Jones. They lost Acuna last year.
Yeah, and they added 4 outfielders to replace him, and they ended up winning the World Series.
Yeah.
And I think that just goes to show you that is why Bryce Harper is the MVP. If Bryce Harper is fully healthy this year, I think we're 20 games above maybe 15 games above 500. I mean, he's that much of a difference maker.
Remember last year, the Phillies bullpen blew like 30-some games?
Yeah.
So if they just cut out 15 of those, they would have won the division.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
if it could have, should have won, I know.
This is why we're the Rant Booth. That's why there's a podcast in the Delaware Valley called the Rant Booth, because there's plenty to rant about when it comes to these 4 teams, especially the Philadelphia Phillies.
And we're going to get into the Eagles, who's just started training camp today. The Flyers made some moves last week that are very controversial, and of course the Sixers with Harden, James Harden, and Melton coming in here. And PJ Tucker, right?
PJ Tucker.
So the Sixers have been doing things. They're all competing for the headlines in the summer. We're up here at the Rant Booth in Ocean City, New Jersey. Come sit with us and talk sports, rant with us, get whatever is off your mind, and get 10% off your hat. If anybody wants to talk sports with us, I want to remind people that the insurance doctor, I want to tell people about the insurance doctor. If you have any type of claim that you have to make, call the insurance doctor. Don't call your insurance company first. You wouldn't go to a doctor, you wouldn't go to a court without your lawyer, or you wouldn't go to an IRS audit without your agent, your IRS accountant. Then don't call your insurance company without the insurance doctor. Give them a call at 856-874-8377. That's the insurance doctor. It's a beautiful night here, Rod. We're talking sports as we do each and every Wednesday up here in the Rant Booth in Ocean City, New Jersey, on the boardwalk. All campus. They got a great selection of hats. Did you get your hat here?
Yep.
Oh, that's a nice one. That's a nice Eagles hat. Let's check it out. That's a nice one. Yeah. John's got a great selection. John Coyle. Greg just said, "What's up, fellas?" Greg agrees with the poll, Jimmy. Greg agrees with the poll. Then he says he truly hopes so.
Well, Greg is Mr. Negadelphia.
Is he? Is he?
Yeah.
Listen, Greg, I'm not. I said I don't agree with it, but I don't want to say that because I watch I race home every night, watch the Phillies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get excited for the games. I love going to the ballpark. But with all the negative that we were talking about, they still just took two out of 3 from the Braves.
I mean, that's why if you tell me that they lose 2 out of 3 to the Braves this series, then I'm saying probably going to disagree to the poll. But this series, in a way, I know it's not must win yet, but it was definitely you needed to win this series.
Yeah, and they did, and they keep hope alive, right?
Oh yeah,
because just enough. It's like dangling. It's like the carrot and the stick. They dangle it in front of you, and then they swat it when you try to get it.
Yeah.
Now, who do the Phillies have coming up? Because I haven't even looked at the schedule.
Check
that out for us.
They have the Pirates. They're going to Pittsburgh tomorrow night for a 4-game set. So this whole weekend,
they can really.
They need to win 3 out of 4.
They need to win 3 out of 4. Hey, I wouldn't mind a sweep.
Oh yeah,
and a 4-game sweep.
I know
the Pirates. Let's face it, it's the Pirates.
Yeah.
I mean, the best part about the Pirates is the stadium.
Yeah.
I don't know if have you ever been there? I've never been to that. I've been to the football stadium. I've never been to the baseball.
I've never been to the Pittsburgh.
But I heard it's
Pittsburgh
really
stadium.
beautiful.
I've been to Citi Field and Camden Yards.
Okay, I've been to Camden Yards. I've been to Old Shea Stadium.
Oh, okay.
I've been to a lot of older. Since I'm older than you, I've been to a lot of the older parks. I've been to Wrigley Field. I've been to Candlestick Park, but I've also been to the new. I think it's Oracle's out there. I've been out there. I've been to Chavez Ravine. Saw the Dodgers. I've been to Yankee Stadium, of course. I've been there. I've been to almost every rink in the NHL.
Oh, that's
pretty cool.
So that would be my. I love seeing NHL live.
I've been to the old Boston Garden, Montreal Forum. I've been to old Toronto Maple Leaf Garden. I've been to all the Spectrum, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I got a great memento thing a collage.
Yeah.
I saved all the tickets. Nowadays, you can't even save the tickets.
Yeah.
Right? You can't everything you paper, you got to download it.
I got all of my stuff right here. It's all in the Apple Wallet. All of these
you
tickets.
Can't even. So I have a collage of all the tickets that I've gotten over the years from all the stadiums that I've attended, and I put it encased it in glass, and it's really a cool thing to have. I hang it up in my man room, and it's really cool. Hey, we're up here on the boardwalk in Ocean City at All Campus. In the rant booth, we're talking sports. If you want to talk sports with us, and then you get 10% off anything in the store, any hat in the store. Come on up. All right, let's turn our attention to the Philadelphia Eagles. Training camp opened up. The Philadelphia Eagles had a gigantic, in my opinion, my humble opinion, a gigantic offseason. What say you?
Oh, yeah, A+ offseason. Howie Roseman salvaged his image that I had on him because I was anti-Howie for years and years.
Brilliant minds think alike.
I mean, I was a Carson guy. I was a Carson guy up to the very end. Some people may say that I'm still a Carson guy. But I think what he did to Carson was unbelievable, and Carson was a crybaby about it. It did go hand in hand with it.
It takes two.
It definitely took two to tango.
I think you're right about that. I didn't fault. When Carson left, I didn't wish him well. Obviously, I didn't want to see him do well.
Yeah.
But he didn't do poorly. I mean,
yeah.
if you look at his whole season,
he had above average season.
I mean, I think he I don't know why they ran him out of Indianapolis.
Well, it's
Maybe
the character.
There's got to
be the locker room character.
Yeah.
So
because I think on the field he played a lot better than he did for us.
Yeah. On the field, he's a top half quarterback in this league.
So let's look at the Eagles. They start training camp today.
Yep.
The NL East or the NFC East is not a particularly strong conference or division.
They're improving, but
so I think this team can win the division.
Yeah. No. I think
so. There's 17 games. What do you have them doing?
Yeah, winning the division is fair expectations. I have them winning 11. I have them going 11-6. I think
that's fair.
That's going to be enough to win the division, and it's going. And I know this is what everybody's been saying for the past since the draft, honestly, because that's when the roster really got reconstructed. You added pieces here and there with Bradbury and Tart, but I think that it's going to come down to Jalen Hurts and his progression. He can't regress and he can't stay the same. He needs to progress this year as a passer, and as long as that happens, the Eagles are in the driver's seat. They're going to win the NFC East. They may very well. It's possible that they could get a first-round bye as well.
We're up here at All Campus on the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey. If you want to talk sports with us, come sign up and sit in the rant booth with us. We'll talk sports, and you get it whatever it is that you want off your chest about the Phillies, the Flyers, the Eagles, the Sixers. You name it, we'll talk about it. We're up here on the boardwalk at All Campus on A2D Radio, which I like their concept. We agree to disagree, but it's no notes.
Yeah.
Because, I do a radio show on ESPN, and people have their computers, and they have I'm old school, man. I cut articles out. I write notes down.
Yeah.
But I don't, like, on the fly. Like, I know there's people that have the ability to type and talk at the same time and act like they know everything.
Yeah.
That's not how we do it here. It's off without any notes. We don't have anything. I mean, I've written a couple things down, but by and large, we don't have any notes.
Yeah, the main concept of the hashtag no notes is we're not off of a script.
Right.
We're not trying to set up a drama here. We're not trying to set up a Broadway play. We're just trying to come out here, talk sports, talk about our beloved Philly teams, and just have fun with it.
We're like workers at the water cooler, right?
Yeah.
Guys have those cylinder pointy cups.
Yeah.
Right. You're talking. You get a break. Hey, did you see the Eagles last night?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here up on the boardwalk at All Campus. They got the greatest selection of hats.
Yeah.
I mean, their inventory is just taken off. He's quadrupled the inventory. John Coyle has, and they've got great.
Bunch of different colleges.
We used to do a segment too, Rod. Last year we did Stump the Schweiner, my nickname. They stumped me every week. They had so many obscure colleges. I had no clue.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question then: who's the biggest? Who will be the biggest impact out of all the guys they brought in? The Kobe Dean, Jordan Davis, Kazir White, the linebacker, A.J. Brown. Um, out of all those guys, Hassan Reddick, who's going to make the biggest impact on the Eagles this year?
I'm not going to say the easy answer because I think the easy answer would be A.J. Brown. Um, I think A.J. Brown is going to help out Devontae. He's going to help out Dallas. He's going to help out Jalen. He's going to help out the running backs. But I think it's going to come on the defensive side of the ball, and I truly think it's going to be Bradbury. I mean, James Bradbury was an elite corner about a few years ago. So pairing him with Darius Slay, that gives Jonathan Gannon a cushion. It gives him a security blanket in that secondary for him to be able to do whatever he wants with that front seven. So I think the addition of Bradbury is going to be maybe not the biggest key, but it's going to be the biggest X factor when it comes to this Philadelphia Eagles team.
I think the Eagles' biggest problem last year, and I use this guy as my scapegoat because he was awful, but Singleton caught my ire. I couldn't stand him. I thought I thought Singleton just looked silly out there at times. Always made nice tackles, but 10 yards in the down.
I was just about to say,
right?
150 tackles,
and then
but
he get up and he celebrate like he stuffed somebody on the goal line. I think the linebacker play is going to be so much more improved with Kazir White. I think from the Chargers.
Yeah. He's fast and quick, and he is agile, and he could go from sideline to sideline.
Nakobe Dean, I think he did it, is going to be a great addition. Even though he's a rookie, I think he's going to fill in admirably. And I think overall the Eagles' defense is going to be the defensive guys are going to be the ones that.
And I'll talk about Nakobe Dean later on in the show.
Right. We got a couple ranters to come in and talk with us right now. Let's go with let's bring a couple of guys in here. We got four, 5 guys lined up, which is really good. Let's go with Logan. Is Logan in here? Where's Logan? All right, put the headsets on, Logan. Big Celtics guy. Jeez, man. Logan, you're from Marlton, New Jersey.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Welcome into the rant booth. So you know what I noticed about all these young cats that I talk with on the rant booth? Everybody, like back when I grew up, you were a Phillies, Flyers. If you were from this area, you were a Phillies, Flyers, Sixers, and Eagles fan. That was it. You're from Marlton and you like the Celtics.
Well,
what's up with that?
Here's the thing. So my dad, he's originally from like Connecticut, like all there. So like he's like a big like New England fan. So he's like Patriots, Celtics, Red Sox, and
but on TV, unless you're watching like the Red Zone, right? Or if you're watching NBA Network or NHL Network, I guess you have more opportunities to watch other teams. But you're from here, man. So I always like equate this to like people that are Cowboys fans. Well, what'd you do during the parade? Like when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, what did you do during the parade? Not you. You're an Eagles fan, right?
No, I'm a Patriots fan.
Oh, you're. So what did you do when the Eagles won the Super Bowl? Every school was closed. The libraries were closed, right? Where did you go? What did you do?
Well, for me, school was open, so I was kind of like the only one in school. I was just chilling. I was like, damn, like
What high school do you go to?
I go to Cherokee High School.
Cherokee? Mm-hmm. Do you play football?
No, I do not.
What sport do you play?
I play basketball, but I don't play for the team.
Okay. So what year are you?
I'm going to be a junior.
All right. So what teams you? So you like the Patriots, the Celtics,
and the Red Sox.
Do you like the Red Sox? You like the Bruins?
I don't really follow hockey.
So you don't follow. So at least you're 4 for 4, but it's up in Boston.
Yeah.
And that's because of your father.
Correct.
Well, I got to be honest with you. This is called the rant booth. People usually come in and rant about the Flyers, Eagles, Sixers. But I don't know what they ask. Is there anything are you pissed off about, or you want to brag about the Patriots?
I mean, I don't even want to talk about the Patriots right now. I don't know about the Patriots, but
they can't stay on top forever, right?
Yeah, I get you.
By the way, I'm not a Tom Brady hater. Yeah. I actually think he's a great quarterback, and I love watching him.
I grew up watching Tom Brady a little bit. Like I thought, he's like great. Like he's a GOAT, right?
Right.
But I can't I don't really like him that much.
No.
Like when he was on the Patriots too, like I know he was great and all.
Which is funny because you're a Patriots fan.
But I couldn't get behind him.
Well, that's like me when I'm a big Eagles fan. I couldn't stand Donovan McNabb. I mean, and he threw the ball behind people. He just didn't seem to me to be the leader that we needed from him. There was the team fractioned off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
So I was not a big Donovan McNabb fan, but as far as Tom Brady, I don't have a problem with him. Like in baseball, you steal signs.
Yeah.
You don't wear a wire to steal signs, but if you're staring at the third base coach and you're smart enough to pick up those signs, it's fine. People accuse the Patriots of stealing stuff. If they recorded it, they recorded I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But if they're just on the other sidelines and they're smarter and can pick up on things, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. I mean, my friends always bash me for like talking about like, oh, like I was like a while ago, I was like the Patriots are like the best team in the world. And they're like, no, bro, like they cheat all the time. Like, dude, that happened like one time.
Cheat.
Like, calm down.
You know, you still got to line up against somebody and go after them.
That
right?
is true.
It's mano-a-mano.
Yeah, that's facts.
All right, Logan. Listen, man. Thank you. Who's coming up next? Who do we got next? We got looks like we got Ryan Millard from Marlton, and he's a Phillies. Oh, he wants to talk about the Phillies and Nick Castellanos.
I do.
Listen, first of all, Ryan, welcome into the ramp booth.
Nice to meet you.
And do you go to Cherokee as well?
I do.
Okay, so you guys are all from Cherokee. Are you a Phillies, Flyers, Sixers, Eagles fan?
I'm a Phillies fan, Flyers fan, Sixers fan, and Patriots fan.
So you're a Patriots fan.
Yeah.
So you're 3 for 4.
Yeah.
Ryan, let me ask you this question. Nick Castellanos was caught on films saying, was that a dumb question to Jim Salisbury?
Yeah.
Did that piss you off?
Did
you like, who's he? Who's he think he is?
No, not really.
So so you liked it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. If he's having a bad year, and as far as the question goes, I guess maybe Jim Salisbury just wanted to see what type of reaction he was going to get from him.
Mm-hmm.
Knew it might have been a stupid question, but for the media to go nuts, to me it was a non-issue.
Yeah.
Is that how you felt?
Yeah, that's how I felt.
So our question here on the A2D platform, we're broadcasting on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch TV. Do you believe the Phillies are going to make the playoffs? Do you agree with that or disagree?
Yeah, I think they have a shot to make the playoffs.
So they're obviously without Bryce Harper. Segura is supposed to be coming back. He's on the mend. But Zach Eflin's down. You think they have enough to make the playoffs?
If they trade for another pitcher, yeah, I would think so.
So that's the biggest need you want?
Yeah.
Another pitcher?
Another starting pitcher, yeah.
Okay. I personally and my co-host Rod Rodweller, he thinks they're going to make it. I'm not going to be negative because I want them. I love Phillies baseball. I watch it every night. I want them to win. I just don't think they have enough. Believe it or not, they're just something. Their offense. They don't have one guy other than Alec Bohm hitting over 260.
Yeah.
Not one guy. And I'm not including Garrett Stubbs. I'm talking about the 1 through 9. They don't have anybody.
They don't.
I mean, I know Schwarber's got 31 home runs, but he's batting 208.
Yeah.
That stinks.
I don't know why he's batting leadoff either.
Yeah, he's batting leadoff. He's not your traditional leadoff. He only has 61 RBIs. So if you're going to be hitting 31 home runs, we need more production, and he needs to go down in the lineup.
Yeah.
But this is the mod. Are you into analytics in baseball?
Sort of.
So when as an old guy, when somebody says, "Oh, that ball went out. It went out at 105 miles an hour." To me, I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as it goes out.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a high pop up and it just clears the fence and it went out at 98 miles an hour, that's still as important as effective to me.
Right. Still a home run.
Yeah, it's still a home run. What sports do you play?
I play baseball.
And what year are you?
Going to my junior year.
You're going to be a junior?
Yeah.
At Cherokee. Cherokee's a big school, right?
Yeah, big school.
How many students you guys have?
You got a lot.
So we're up here on the ramp booth every Wednesday on A2D Radio is the platform. We're at all campus every Wednesday from 6:30 to 8:30, and we love when we have you guys participate, come in and talk sports with us and get something off your chest. It's called the ramp booth. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we're going to be talking with Mike Sparazin, I think. Did I say that right?
Close,
Sparazin.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. What's up, man?
Pleasure meeting you.
Are you go to Cherokee as well?
Yeah.
And do you play any sports?
I wrestle.
You're a wrestler. Are you 4 for 4?
No.
So what are your teams?
I like the Yankees. I like the Giants. And then basketball, I'm kind of up in the air. I don't really like a certain team. Kind of just like a lot of players.
Right.
And then I don't really watch hockey that much.
All right. So what year are you?
24.
You're
class of 24.
You're the class of 24.
Yeah.
So that means you're what, a junior? You're your sophomore year?
Mm-hmm. Junior.
Junior year.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to. There's a lot of mobile phone. You can gamble on your mobile phone. And I know you have to be a certain age, but they don't really check that, do they?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't want to put you on the spot, But gambling's pretty big. Is that why you don't follow a specific team, that you just follow the players, like for fantasy and stuff like that?
Fantasy is a part of it. I mean, I also just like collecting the jerseys from them too. I have a
Okay.
lot of jerseys at home, and it's kind of cool to like pick and choose around which one I kind of like.
So All Camp is up here on the boardwalk, has an outstanding selection of hats. John Coyle, the owner here, has done a fabulous job of stocking this place with all kind of hats. We used to do a segment last year called Stump the Schweiner. That's me, and they did every week. I didn't know half the schools that they had here, so they got a great selection. We have a question up here. Do you think the Phillies are going to make the playoffs? I know you don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, like if they can get out of it, if they can start doing like better and start like
Being more
winning, like,
consistent.
yeah, I think in that case, then there's definitely a chance. But as of right now, no.
Yeah, I'm glad you're the first one that agreed with me
Mhm.
that I said, and I don't want to be negative like Negadelphia. The question is, do you believe the Phillies can make the Major League playoffs? I don't think they can. I just don't think they have enough. You losing Bryce Harper at this point in the season was really a devastating
Yeah.
blow.
Yep.
And I don't know if they're going to have the horses. They're like I said, they don't have one person other than Alec Bohm that's hitting over 260.
Mhm.
You have to have a more consistent lineup, especially when like Aaron Nola, he's what 6-8.
Mhm.
His DRA is 3.32 or something. You got Zach Wheeler, who's 8-5, I believe, and he's in like 2.75. But they're not consistent, and they need to be consistent. So who do you think will make the playoffs? You think the Cardinals, I guess, will edge out the Phillies?
I'd say Cardinals. Yeah,
Okay.
I like that. Yeah.
We're up at the ramp booth here on the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey. We're here every Wednesday. We talk sports on A2D Radio, which is agree to disagree, because when you talk sports, you don't agree, and that's fine. We don't do it with any notes. Okay, we just talk sports. We're like two guys at the water cooler, talking sports. And if you talk sports with us, you get 10% off your hat or anything here in the store. Thanks,
It's a
man.
pleasure talking to you.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Nice
you.
talking with you. All right, and I think we got. Carmen. Is it Carmen? Cameron. Another Marlton guy. He wants to talk about the Yankees. Well, I'll tell you what.
Oh, no, it's the Phillies.
Oh, okay. You see how that line bends?
Yeah.
All right, you want to talk about the Phillies. All right, answer our first of all, welcome into the ramp booth.
Nice to meet you.
Are you happy with the Phillies so far this year?
I mean, they started off really, really good.
Right.
And then, once we had the coaching change, they
Actually they start off poorly.
Well, yeah,
they
poorly.
They didn't do really well in the beginning.
They started doing really well when they first got their new coach.
Robbie Thompson, what type of job do you think he's been doing?
I mean, what do you mean?
Overall, you happy with his managerial skills?
I mean, in the beginning, yeah. I mean, he's putting the team at a good place.
I think he's handled the bullpen really well. I think each guy has a defined role right now. So I'm not look, when Joe Girardi was here, I think the guys were all tight and tense, and they weren't loose, they weren't playing well. As soon as he left, it was like a breath of fresh air. I just can't imagine. These guys are professional baseball players. They should be ready to play every single day. I don't know how much the manager has to do with that, but obviously it does, because as soon as Girardi left, boom, the Phillies started playing well. And then Harper goes down. All right, so you think the Phillies are going to make the playoffs?
All right. I want to say yes, but I don't really think they really. It's going to be tough. I don't think they will.
Are you a 4 for you like all our teams?
Yeah.
So you're all right, man. You're the first one. All right, he's raised the right way. Back when, like I said, when I was growing up, everybody liked the 4 teams: Phillies, Flyers, Sixers, and Eagles. You know, lived, breathed, eat, and slept with them, man. That was it. And today, I guess with the advent of all the MLB Network, NHL Network, the Red Zone, all the different platforms you can get these games, everybody likes someone else.
It's
So
crazy.
let me ask you, what year are you?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior. You go to school with all the guys?
Yeah.
Do you guys argue about sports?
Sometimes. I mean,
Or do you guys, this is like the rant booth. And, a lot of people disagree. They think they know everything about sports. Do you guys think you know everything about You don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about?
yeah,
That's
we
it.
get
Get
at
the
it a few
blood
times.
flowing. Yeah, that's right. So the Eagles, you're into the Eagles too?
Oh, yeah.
I know you want to
yeah.
talk about the Phillies, but the Eagles started training camp today. And what do you think? You think the Eagles are? Tell me what do you think the future is for this year?
I think that they're going to do better than they did last year. Like, I
Do
honestly
you
think
like Jalen Hurts?
I think he's a strong QB. It's going to be yeah. I do like him.
I think we talked earlier that we do believe the Philadelphia Eagles have the best team in the division, albeit a weak division. I don't think the Washington football team or the Commanders did anything to improve themselves. Obviously, brought Carson Wentz in, but that remains to be seen how well he'll play. I don't know if he has the offensive line. The Giants, to me, I don't think they did that much to improve themselves, and the Cowboys are the Cowboys. So I think the Eagles can win the division.
I think so too.
All right. How about the Sixers? You happy with what they've done on the offseason?
I mean, I don't really pay much attention to basketball, but I think so.
How about the Flyers? You look at watch the Flyers at all?
A little bit.
You ever skated the skate zone?
Yeah,
The
I
Voorhees?
have.
All right. Well, listen, we really appreciate you having you on. Thanks for being in the rant booth, and get yourself a hat. You get 10% off. Who's next? All right, come on in. Is this Justin? Come on in, Justin. Justin,
What's up?
what's up, man? He likes the Knicks.
Yeah,
He likes the Knicks. The New York Knickerbockers. What makes you a Knicks fan?
I'm from New York.
Oh, well, that explains it. But you go to Cherokee?
Yeah.
How
same
long
as
you been in the area?
them. Since 2016.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So are you a Giants or Jets fan?
I'm actually a Dolphins fan.
You're a Dolphins fan. How about the Rangers, Islanders, Devils?
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I'm not a huge hockey.
Pick one.
Probably Islanders. I'm not a huge hockey fan though.
Okay.
But if I could pick one.
Well, right now we got the Mets and Yankees on, and it looks
Yeah.
like Scherzer is pitching. He's a beast, man. Can you imagine? The Mets had lost both DeGrom and Scherzer for a little while, and they still remained on top of the NL East.
Yeah.
So they're a pretty good team. I happen to think the Braves will win that division.
Probably. The Braves are doing good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. But who's your favorite player on the Knicks?
Probably R.J. Barrett.
Really?
Yeah.
And I think the head coach of the Camden basketball team, Brunson, he's now going to be an assistant on the Knicks.
Did he?
Yeah. And he's from South Jersey, Camden High School.
Good.
Yeah, he played. He had an NBA career in the NBA, and then he came back to coach the Camden Panthers, and did a real good job. The Knicks, though, the Knicks. What's their prognosis for this year?
I don't know.
I got to be honest with you.
Like-
I'm a Philly guy. I don't talk Knicks. I don't know anything about the Knicks.
No.
I don't want to know anything about the Knicks. I hate the Knicks. I got to be honest with you. I don't like the Knicks.
That's fine. I don't blame you.
You don't like the Sixers.
I don't mind the Sixers.
Since you're living in the area, do you watch a lot of Sixers?
Yeah. I went to a
So,
game
okay.
earlier this year against the Cavs.
You saw the Cavaliers?
Yeah. Sixers Cavs.
All right. And are you down here in Ocean City for a vacation? Are you down for the night? What's your deal?
Just for the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you only live about 50 miles from
Yeah, not that
from
not
the
too
beach,
far.
man. You got to get down here as often as possible. It's the place to be, man. You got about another 35 days, and you're back at school.
I know. It's scary.
But then it's Eagles football. You like college football?
No, I don't really watch that
You don't
much
watch
college
college
sports.
football? Do you play sports?
Yeah, I play basketball, but not for my school.
Not for the school?
No, I just play just for fun.
All right, Justin. Thanks for coming to the rant booth, brother.
Thanks for
you get
having me.
10% off your hat. All right, we have one more. Jeremy here. All right, here comes Jeremy. Jeremy wants to talk about the Sixers. Finally, we get somebody that likes the Sixers. We had a Celtics fan. We had Yankees, Knicks. Now we have the Sixers. Jeremy, what's up, man?
Nothing much. How are you?
Welcome into the rant booth on A2D Radio. We do it every Wednesday night up here on the boardwalk. You talk sports with us. You get 10% off your hat. And what's on your mind?
Well, first of all, a little shameless plug by me.
That's all right.
I'm a sports photographer,
Nice.
and you can follow me on Instagram at
There you go.
picsbyjpeg. If you live in the Philadelphia area and you're an athlete and you want some sick flicks, come to me.
Do you get a press pass? You get a field pass?
I'm-
Courtside pass?
I am working on that, but mostly it's just like individual bookings.
So,
I'm working my way.
if you don't mind me asking, what year in school are you?
I'm going into junior year.
You're going to be a junior. So you start early, you work hard. You start with high school kids, maybe college kids, and
Mhm.
then people get to see your work, and then you'll move up the ladder.
Yep.
You got to start here and work your way up, right?
That's the goal.
All right. So you're a big Sixers fan.
I am.
You're too young to remember Allen Iverson,
I am.
but I'm here to tell you the enthusiasm in the Wells Fargo building when he was there was unbelievable. Now we have Joel Embiid, right? We got rid of Simmons, we got Harden, and I think it's not quite there yet. Because Harden, everybody had such high expectations for Harden, it didn't come to fruition. Do you think this year he took a $15 million pay cut, which I heard isn't really that, but for it looks like that, right? It looks like he took it. So a lot of people think that he's sacrificing right to win.
Right.
Do you buy that?
Well, first of all, he did join in the middle of the season.
Okay.
Supposedly lost a lot of weight. I'm not sure how much of that was actually a fat suit, but yeah, I think he has the summer. We saw the videos of him going to work right after the Sixers got eliminated, which you see that all the time every season, but to especially see that from James Harden, who
Right.
purposefully left the Rockets by being fat. It's definitely it's good to see that from him.
Remember the first 5 games when he returned to when he came to Philadelphia from the Nets, he looked great, right? He looked like he was in shape. He played really well. He was scoring like 30 a game in the first 5 games, and then he kind of fell off. I was wondering, what do you think? You think the hammy was bothering him again?
I would say it was, but he does have the summer. It was the middle of the season, so hopefully he's taking some time to fully recover from that injury, and he'll be even better than he ever was this year.
Do the Sixers have enough to win the East?
I absolutely do.
You think they have enough to win the East? Because the Milwaukee Bucks and you got the Celtics. We had a Celtics fan in here today. The Celtics looked great last year. I had them. I thought they could win the NBA championship because I said on my show on 97.3 ESPN, the locker room every Saturday and Sunday down here with like 8-9 weeks to go in the season, I said to everybody, watch out for the Celtics. Watch out for the Celtics. And sure enough, they started playing really well. They won their last 9 out of their last 11 games in the season. And I said, watch them. And sure enough, they played well throughout the whole playoffs. Came up short against Golden State. But I think Milwaukee, Boston, Sixers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you think they have enough to win the division?
I think they
got the Anthony Melton, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got PJ Tucker.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, they got fined for tampering for that. But they absolutely have the talent. I think it's just a matter of just being able to play all together, just meshing all the parts together. And Doc Rivers, I think he just needs to get it together.
I didn't like what Doc Rivers said. He just didn't endear himself to the Philadelphia fan base. When you start acting like you know more than everybody else, then you're just setting yourself up for failure, or even worse. I mean, people if you don't succeed, you're gonna have a short leash. People are gonna start wanting your head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're gonna want to run you out of town.
Yeah, exactly. I think he just needs to humble himself. That way, he'll just gain more respect as a coach and just for the team and that front office. So if he just gets it together, he's a great coach. I think just all the pieces just need to come together for the Sixers.
No, Jeremy, are you? Do you like the Eagles and the Phillies as well and the Flyers?
I'm a Chargers fan.
So you're a Chargers fan. Once again, the young people today. I mean, when I grew up, once again, I sound like a broken record, but I was a 4 for 4, Phillies, Flyers, Sixers, and Eagles. And I would say all but one of these guys on my list that we had today here all have other teams that they're associated with. Isn't that something? I guess that's just the way it is today. It's just it's tough for me. It's a tough pill for me to swallow being an old guy. But I want to give your business a plug one more time on A2D Radio. Plug it.
For
pictures, you do
yes.
Sports photography.
Yes. Pics by JPEG on Instagram. PICSBYJPEG. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. If you live in the Philadelphia area, you're an athlete, and you want some sick flicks, come to me.
All right, Jeremy. Thanks a lot, man. Now you get 10% off anything in the store.
Thank you so much
being
for
in the
having
rant
me.
booth. We really appreciate it.
Of course.
All right, we're broadcasting live up here on the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey, at all campus in the rant booth, and we've had like 6 or 7 people today contribute, and we're going to bring back Jimmy Rodwell in. We call him Roddy Rodwell. Rod, man, how about that? Look at all those ranters.
Yeah.
Rod, what's the one thing you just took from all those guys?
Well, you said it at the end about what did you have? 7 of them, 8 of them.
Yeah.
One
7.
of them was 4 for 4.
One
and
for 4 for 4. What's
Yeah.
going on with the youth in
mean,
America?
I've been dealing with that since I was.
So does that piss you off?
Yeah, it does. It doesn't get under my skin as much as it used to. Back in high school, back in
I
my
think
early years
I
of
think I
college.
would be screaming at these guys. Like,
Yeah.
what do you like? I would call them turncoats.
Yeah, honestly, that's what made me want to start getting into sports talk because of just the heated debates that me and my friends would have in the cafeteria,
Right?
and when we were hanging out after school. We would just argue and argue and argue over the Cowboys or the Giants or the Eagles or the Knicks or the Yankees. And I would just have to defend my 4 teams with my life. But that was hard to do considering, 2 championships
Yeah,
in
right.
22 years
So
that I've been alive.
You're lucky because all right. So I'm 61, born in 60. I was born in 61, and the first championship that I saw was the 73-74 Flyers when they won the Stanley Cup. When Bobby Orr shoots the puck down the ice, Perrant makes the save. Ladies and gentlemen, the Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers have won the That was Gene Hart.
Yeah.
And that was my first recollection of a champion. But then I had to wait till 1980 till the Eagles went to the Super Bowl against the Raiders and the Phillies. By the way, something that I don't think will ever be recreated.
I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
1980, all 4 teams
1980,
went to
my
the
senior year in high
championships.
school. Every team, professional team, went their respective championships. Sixers, Phillies, Flyers, and Eagles.
Then we got one of them.
And we got one of them, 1980 Phillies. But I'm telling you, that whole year, I will never, ever forget my senior year in high school. How cool it was. You almost got spoiled.
Yeah.
Like you expected. Like then when I went, so my senior year, I graduated in 1980. Then I go to play football at Lees McRae College in North Carolina. And when I got down there, my brother and I could beat our chest because we were from Philadelphia, the city of champions,
Yeah.
the city of brotherly love. Even though we were raised in college, you could see from my house the skyline of Philadelphia right over the Cooper River,
Yeah.
right there. And that's where we were from.
Yeah.
And we could pound our chest and say, hey, man, give me the TV room. There were no remotes. You had to actually get up and turn the channel. But we would get in fights with, we're down in North Carolina. So when the Phillies, Flyers, when they happened to come on, we went down to the student room and we watched them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was since Bobby and I were together on that. And another guy, one other Yankee, we dominated TV. But there were fights, man.
Yeah. And I think part of the reason why I attach myself to our young players so much, like a Carson Wentz or a Ben Simmons or a Tyrese Maxey, is because I haven't experienced winning.
Right,
I haven't experienced watching our teams go to championships. So I would have to string myself to these young guys in hope that that they're better than everybody else in the country. That was my mentality.
That's another thing about when your team wins, you have the upper when you talk about high school sports, you say you're removed 15, 20 years removed, and you say, well, back in the day we won the Colonial Conference or we won the championship. You have that. They can't take it away from you. So when you go to another city or you go to a school far away and you come from if you won a championship, the Phillies or the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017, you have a Super Bowl you can brag about.
Yeah.
Or you have a World Series you can brag about in 2008. But since you haven't experienced that, well, you do remember the Eagles.
Yeah, I remember the Eagles.
Yeah.
I remember the Phillies too. I was a young 9 years old.
So 08, you remember that? You actually remember that?
I remember.
Did you guys go to the parade?
I chose to go to my 4th grade Halloween parade.
Is that right?
As opposed to going to
That's
the
right,
Phillies
because it was on October 30th.
So
Right?
I regret that decision every day of my life.
We're up here in the rant booth on the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey, at all campus. Come on down if you want to get yourself a nice hat, your college, represent your college or your favorite professional sports team. Come on up to all campus here on the boardwalk. We're at A2D Radio, the rant booth. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you name it, we're on it. Now we have the Yankees and Mets on right now,
Yeah.
and Scherzer, they're in the top of the second. Scherzer looks like a bulldog. He looks like he's no nonsense.
Yeah. It'd be nice
You know
to
what I
have
mean?
him.
He just looks. And who are you pulling for in this game? I know I can't stand the Mets, so I'm probably pulling for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Especially I want to see the Mets lose.
Yeah, definitely pulling for the Yankees,
Yeah.
but I can't stand either fan base.
No.
I just
How about earlier in the year when who were they throwing at the Cleveland Indian? They were throwing or Cleveland Guardian, I should say.
yeah.
They were throwing stuff at him from
Mhm.
right field. And then
Yeah.
Philadelphia has a stigma, a reputation, if
Yeah.
you will, of being the worst fans in America. Well, we're here to tell you that's not true.
That's not true.
No, that's not true.
It's not true.
All right, so Ryan Swope says Philly sports seem to only win when there's an 8
In the
in
year.
the year. Let's see.
So,
So,
like-
not really. 1973, 74, 2000 or 1980,
1980,
1908.
83 for the
83?
Sixers.
Yeah, but 83 for the Sixers. Phillies lost to the Orioles that year. I was at that World Series game.
In the 83.
Yeah, they lost to you know who was on that Phillies team? Half the Cincinnati Reds. Half the big red machine. Joe Morgan was on that team. He played second base. Tony Perez played first. Pete Rose, who, by the way, is coming back. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, I would love to go. I mean, I see all these professional athletes that get busted for all of this stuff, and yet Pete Rose is banned for life for gambling. I mean,
Well, here's the thing.
Calvin Ridley's out for a year for gambling.
All right, so
I understand.
Here's the thing, and I've been a proponent of not allowing him back because back in the day when he committed this crime against he broke the rules. You can't gamble on your on baseball. You can't gamble on your own sport. Not only did he gamble on his own sport, he gambled on his own team.
Yeah.
All right. Now they said, well, he didn't gamble. He didn't bet against him to lose. He bet for him to win. Well, that's great, but he still broke the rule. And then he tried to lie about it, and for many years he wouldn't own up to it.
Yeah, it takes away the
So
integrity
half the
of the
problem
game.
was the lie,
Yeah.
the cover up. So because, and I actually had a run in with Pete, not a run in, but I don't think he's the nicest person in the world.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard, man.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these guys aren't.
It
the
seemed nice
nicest
to me
people.
when I went up and approached him, and
Yeah.
kind of wouldn't even give
I
me
mean,
the time of day.
they always say you never want to meet your heroes because
Right. Well, he wasn't my hero. I love Pete Rose. I love the way he played. Of course, I'll never forget we won the World Series in 1980, but he wasn't my favorite player on that team. He actually, he was the catalyst. Remember that team would lose against the Dodgers and the Reds in the playoffs every year,
Mhm.
and then when Rose comes to Philadelphia, they win.
Yeah.
So, I'm a little ambivalent about this. I think that the reason why it's okay for him to come back, I think he's paid his time. He's paid his penance. But more importantly, you just alluded to it. There's so much gambling going on now.
Oh yeah.
So it's okay.
It's sponsored. Like every stadium has a sponsor of
yeah,
a gambling.
FanDuel, DraftKings, what else?
BetMGM,
I mean, it's
Caesars.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's going that way, and if that's the case, then you know what?
Yeah.
He's paid the price,
Mm-hmm.
right? Everybody gets a second and third chance here in our country. Heck, fourth and fifth chances. I guess it's time for me to change my mind on the Pete Rose thing.
Yeah. I mean,
and accept him back in.
You just look at the professional sports organizations, MLB, NHL, NFL, NBA. They don't want the risk of losing their revenue because their athletes are compromising the result of a game.
I agree, and I got to tell you, I think we're heading down a bad path.
I mean that's why Calvin Ridley gets banned for a year,
right?
Yeah,
but a year. What's that? I mean people are addicted to gambling, drugs, alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
If you're addicted to gambling, a slap on the wrist ain't going to stop you.
He's going to keep doing it.
He probably loses his salary for the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
But some people just thought that's not enough.
Yeah, I mean, he still has
I
his
don't wanna see-
sponsorships, his
yeah.
endorsements.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
We're up here on the boardwalk at All Campus. A beautiful night in Ocean City,
Yeah.
New Jersey. A lot of people walking by. We're talking sports. We're watching the Yankees and the Mets. Pete Alonso is up right now. The Mets and the Yankees are tied 0-0 in the bottom of the second. And Pete Alonso's having a pretty good year. I'm not a Mets fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I got to call balls and strikes the way I see it. And he's having a pretty good year.
Yeah.
And the Mets, I tell you what, I thought if you were to tell me that the Mets in the beginning of the season, if you were to tell me in the beginning of the season that the Mets would lose DeGrom and Scherzer, and yet they'd still be in first place with their lineup, I would say you're crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but I think Buck Showalter's doing a great job.
There he goes. Right
the-
off the top of the wall. Alonso's going to go into second, standing up.
No, that's a home.
Oh, did that?
Bounced
They
in.
called it a home run?
Yep, went out and then bounced right out. Wow.
Wow.
Right as he was at bat.
How about that? Pete Alonso, we got a Mets fan in here. How do Mets fans? How did the Mets continue to win without DeGrom and Scherzer? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Nah.
Look at this.
Pete Alonso is a guy I would take over Rhys Hoskins 100 times out of 100.
Yeah, but if you were to tell me in the beginning, and I just was getting ready to say this, if you're going to tell me in the beginning of the season that without Scherzer and DeGrom, would the Mets be able to maintain first place? I told you you're crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they got a killer bullpen.
All right, and here they are.
They had another power hitter in Vogelbach, too, recently.
So Ryan said he was going to come down and see us. He was going to come to OC, but the forecast was for rain and thunderstorms. But guess what? We're covered in. We're here in the store. Ryan, you come down here and contribute to the show. It's the locker room. I'm from the locker room. Jimmy's here. We're on A2D Radio. We're at all campus on the boardwalk in Ocean City every Wednesday night throughout the summer talking sports. Owner John Coyle has us in here and does a great job.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun talking sports.
He runs a great place in here.
We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys coming in here, and that's a good amount of people to come in for.
I just wish they were all 4 for 4.
Yeah,
especially since they're from Marlton, New Jersey.
Believe that, man. My own backyard.
That's all right. I mean, it's just how it is nowadays. People follow their players. It's becoming a players' league in each of these sports organizations.
Is that because of the fantasy, you think?
It's because of the fantasy things. It's because it's players' league all around. I mean, I'm looking through the bottom of the screen as I'm watching the Yankees and the Mets in the first inning, and I see DK Metcalf will not play until his contract situation is sorted out. We'd never seen that up until recently, up until a few years ago. And I just wanted to – I don't know.
Yeah,
I would like to rant about that because these players are just such like –
well, they're
just prima donnas.
Well, they're all for themselves because their money's so exorbitant. I mean, look at Soto. He just turned down $415 million he turned down?
Yeah.
I mean, who does that?
Yeah.
Well, the Mets, right? Cohen, the owner of the Mets.
You guys are getting judged.
That guy's got a bottomless pit of money.
I think you guys are getting judged, and I think Soto's going to the.
That's what I've heard that before. Judge is a free agent, right? At the end of the year,
his contract situation is not solved.
And they haven't negotiated with him.
They did negotiate, and he turned it down.
Oh, he turned it down.
Yeah.
He's in the same boat as Soto?
Well, they tried. This was earlier on in the season, like February, I think. So
because there was a lockout.
Yeah.
Right. So
he turned it down in the start of free agency.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, but Aaron Judge.
We're talking about Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
No, but he turned it down. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think because Soto has 2 years left, so I don't think Soto's moving before the deadline. By the way, I think it's going to be an off-season move. I think it's going to be an off-season move to the Yankees because the Yankees are going to lose Aaron Judge because Cohen's going to give them $550 million. So
Cohen's got money.
Yeah.
Remember the Phillies are going to spend mad money, stupid money.
Well, we're going to.
They have.
We're going to get Trey Turner.
You think we're going to get Trey Turner? Obviously not this year. Next year.
I think we're going to sign Trey Turner to an 8-year.
So Jimmy, who do you think who's going to win? Who's going to win the? Who do you think is going to win the World Series this year? Who do you think? Because you look at the Dodgers.
When we talk about great theater, I hope these two teams are in it. Not because of my fandom.
You want to see a Subway
Series? I
want
to see a 7-game Subway Series in the world as a sports fan.
That would be a big TV draw, man.
Not as a Philadelphia fan. Dodgers, Yankees. I
Dodgers,
hate
Yankees would be
Dodgers.
awesome. Yeah, LA Dodgers, Yankees would be awesome. Um,
I'm just trying to think because pitching wins you World Series. So I'm trying to think of the teams
I don't
that
want to see Milwaukee. I don't want to see.
Yeah,
I don't want to see
Houston-
Houston. I don't want to see Houston. By the way,
Houston owns the
Verlander, he's got
Yankees.
13 wins now.
Yeah,
13
13
wins.
and 0?
Guys, 13. I think he's 13-3.
13-3.
But Verlander's pitching lights out, man. I don't want to see the Houston Astros in the American League. I want to see. How about the Baltimore Orioles? I saw a stat. A preseason. There's another shot to left field. This was going to stay in the park.
Track.
The teams like that have been predicted to win so many games and had a plus or minus where they actually are. Baltimore was predicted to finish the season with I don't know, 60 wins. They're on a pace to go 18 games plus of what they were.
Their young guys are coming together.
Yeah, they're playing pretty well.
Yeah, they got Rutschman there, Mountcastle. Who was it?
Detroit the Tigers.
Yeah, I still think they stink.
Hey, let me tell you about the insurance doctor. If you have an insurance claim, don't call the insurance company first. Call the insurance doctor. The insurance doctor, it will represent you and get you the maximum reward for your claim. Joe Namath, Brian Baldinger, just to name a few, have benefited from the insurance doctor. Give them a call at 856-874-8377. Tree falls on your house, call the doctor. You have a flood in the basement because of the washer or the dishwasher upstairs, call the insurance doctor. He's an advocate for you. The insurance doctor, 856-874-8377. I know if you trust the insurance, you wouldn't go to court without your attorney. You won't go to the IRS audit without your accountant. Don't go to your insurance company without the doctor, the insurance doctor. 856-874-8377. So, Jimmy, we talked about the Eagles. We talked about the Phillies, obviously. I want to pick your brain about the Sixers.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out on the Sixers.
You're out.
Yeah.
Just like that. I didn't even get into it. You said you're out.
I think Doc Rivers is quite possibly he could be the worst coach in the city. I think John Tortorella is a better head coach than Doc Rivers, and he hasn't even coached a game in Philadelphia yet.
Doc's got a championship as well. But look at his lineup when he was in Boston. I mean, it was like all-stars.
Yeah, it was an all-star lineup. It was the Monstars. I look at this Ross, and
he's well respected though, Jim. He's well respected.
He's well respected, but I need to see this team get out of the second round. I'm sick of them just ripping my heart out every single June.
Do you think? Remember, Joel Embiid got hurt.
Yeah,
I'm not making excuses, but
it's every year.
Look. How about ready for this? Baker Mayfield. You remember the performance he had in that playoff game? Threw 4 interceptions. He got booed out of the town, right?
Yep.
He was hurt.
Yeah.
No, he was seriously hurt. So instead of people saying, look at the admirable effort he made, he wanted to win so bad in Cleveland that he played in extreme pain with extreme injury. And look how he was treated. Well, the same thing applies now if you look back in retrospect with Joel Embiid. He was hurt.
Yeah. I mean, it's just every single year, it's just something new. And
that's true.
He is the big piece in this out of all the process guys, we came out with Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid and only Joel Embiid. Everybody else was traded for. Or you draft Tyrese Maxey because of a COVID season. Because if you have the tournament that year, he's a lottery pick.
Right.
So out of all of that, all you get is Joel Embiid. And he hasn't been reliable. I love Joe. I love Tyrese. But those are the only 2 guys in this organization that I admire right now. I'm so out on James Harden. It's not even funny. The guy
we had one of the. Let's see. We had one of our ranters that came into the rant booth was saying that he likes James Harden and he thinks that James Harden will be a lot better. Will I guess fight through or be healed from his injury, his hamstring. They don't heal easy, you know.
Yeah.
He basically alluded to. He said we didn't see the real Harden.
I don't know.
He played the last 23 games in Philadelphia, And then in the playoffs, and maybe he was dealing with an injury. We don't know.
He's just been an all-time loser his entire career. That's basically what we traded. We traded a loser for a loser. He's the oldest 34-year-old I've ever seen in my entire life.
Not 34, is he?
He's got
how
old's James Harden?
He's 31, I think. 31, 32 at the most. I would say he's 32 at the most.
33.
Listen, he's out of shape. He's been 32.
I think his birthday is actually coming up, so he might be turning 33 right now. He's the oldest 33-year-old I ever met.
32, so he'll be 33.
Yeah, very soon.
In August.
Yeah. He's so slow. He's so slow with the ball.
Well,
his defense is lackadaisical.
He can't dribble. He can't dribble anymore, people.
God. What happened when he was healthy during his prime? There was choke job after choke job, and we brought in his exact same team from when he was in Houston, and now they're all 5 years older.
What do you mean?
And we're all praising it.
What do you mean we brought in his same team?
We brought in House. We brought in P.J. Tucker. We brought in Daryl Morey. Those were three
Yeah, but Morey's
big
not on the
contributors.
court. I'm talking about the guys on the
court.
court.
Eric Gordon.
I'm talking about the guys on the court. The only one that's there is Tucker.
And Tucker and House. House was a crucial player 5 years ago for them.
Yeah, but he's not. I mean, he's a backup.
He's going to be a role player on this team.
You think?
Yes. Who else is going to be coming off the bench? Shake Milton?
No, Reed. I heard the guy was. Yeah.
Paul Reed, yeah.
I was really impressed. I think Reed's going to be.
I have high hopes on Paul Reed, but he can't be getting 4 personal fouls in 10 minutes.
Not that I've been watching the summer league, but the one time I did watch it, the guy was really impressive.
I honestly think that was his only summer game, and then we realized he's too good to be playing in the summer league.
Playing in summer league.
But as sad as it sounds, I think he's just too small to be a consistent role player in the NBA.
Jimmy, John Don 19 wants to say, Jimmy, how do you feel about Kevin Durant, rumored to Boston?
Yeah, I mean, it's just another example of how these players run this league. Because if Kevin Durant says he wants to go to Boston, you damn well know he's going to go to Boston. I mean, it happens with every single superstar.
That's the last thing the Sixers need.
I know.
But they would have to give up. Who would they give up? Smart.
They would give up Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown, Smart, and someone else.
And probably the next 15 draft picks, 15 years of draft picks.
What is his name? Who's the?
See, if I'm the Celtics, I'm not doing that.
All right, so Tommy Arnone, our main man Tommy, just chimed in. He said he wants to agree with the poll.
But he can't.
So bad, but I guess he can't, just like me. I said the same thing. I said I don't want to be negative, but I just can't see the Phillies making the playoffs because it never happens.
Do you think it's a matter – do you think you guys are hesitant just because we don't want to get our hopes up again?
No, because they're so inconsistent, and they're pitching when their offense lets them down, their pitching does well, and they can't put it all together at the same time.
Yeah,
if they could put it together at the same time, I would be happy, but it just hasn't been that way.
I mean, look at them last night. Aaron Nola gives up 5 runs in 6 innings, and the offense essentially has no hits. 1-2 hits while Nola was on the mound. Like, he has no run support in these big – and I know – and I'm very critical of Aaron Nola, but it seems as if every single time he has a big start, the offense is just non-existent, and it seems like he has to do everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been so frustrating with this Phillies team. It seems like it's that way every year. We're right on the cusp, like something close. And like last year, we had a good team, and the bullpen blew how many games? 30-some games.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, if we just fix the bullpen, then we'll be okay. We fix the bullpen. It's something. It's like a boat that's leaking. It's got a boat that has leaks. You plug that leak up, then all of a sudden you got another leak.
Yeah.
And then the boat ends up sinking. I can't take it. But you know what I can take? Every Wednesday night, we're up here in the rant booth on the boardwalk at Ocean City at all campus. We're on A2D Radio. We broadcast live every Wednesday, and we have a lot of fun doing it. We talk sports. We've had about 6-7 ranters tonight, kids that came in. The only thing we had a little problem with them, though, didn't we, Jim?
Yeah, one out of 6 of them was 4 for 4 all Philly.
Yeah, these kids today, these young kids today, they don't like all the Philly. They live here, and they're not our fans of our teams.
I mean, honestly, I want to say, do you blame them? Because
no, because you know what? I'll tell you why. Call me old school. But when I was growing up, the Eagles in the 60s and early 70s, the Eagles sucked. Like they were pitifully horrible. But my dad was an Eagles fan. And you know what he taught me? Just because a team isn't winning, you don't give up on them. You
Yeah.
don't be like a carpetbagger and go somewhere else. You stick with your team.
Oh,
You know
trust
why?
me.
Because when you all that losing, because when the Eagles won the Super Bowl
It's the
in
greatest day of my life.
and in 2017, I can't tell you how many people called me on my radio show on 97.3 ESPN telling me how much it meant to them. Their father passed away, never got to see it. The tears, the emotion, the outpouring of just an overall good feeling to the community. It'll never be due. That's why when you don't win for a long period of time and then you finally do,
Well,
it makes it that much sweeter.
That's why when the Flyers win again, it's going to be unbelievable. That's why when the Sixers win again, it's going to be unbelievable because we're hedging on 40+ years with the Sixers.
Yeah. Well,
we're going to be 50 years with the
I
Flyers
was going
pretty
to say
soon.
we're more with the Flyers. The Flyers got close in 2010 was the last time that they got close.
Yeah.
Right? And then they got swept by the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Whoever thought you'd see that? Or no, not I'm sorry.
6.
No, I was thinking about the Detroit. In 97, they got swept by Detroit. Then in 2010, it was the Blackhawks. My bad. But
and the Flyers have made it a lot since the 75 Cup.
Oh, yeah.
They've made it 6, 7 times maybe. Yeah. I mean, that's another thing to my point. Like all these kids that are 14, 15, 16 years old, they don't pay attention to hockey because the Flyers haven't done anything. They haven't done any. They've been in the playoff every other year besides these past 2 years, and every other year it's been a first-round exit.
So Don
2012.
19 says the next 20 games for the Phillies, what's an acceptable record? And the Phillies
COVID
right now
season.
are 51-47. What's an acceptable record, Don wants to know, in the next 20 games? And, you're looking at 51-47. So how about give me acceptable? I would have to say they have to go 14-6.
Well, they definitely have to go 3-1 over these next 4.
14-6. The Phillies need to go 14-6 in their next 20 games. That's 20 games, Don. I don't know if you. No, I haven't looked at Jimmy's going to check out the schedule. I know they play the Pirates. Who they got after Pirates?
I do not know off the top of my head.
Yeah, we could pull that. If somebody wants here on A2D.
I do know the pitchers for the 4 games at Pittsburgh. You got Wheeler first, Bailey Falter second, Ranger game 3, and then Nola game 4. So
the Phillies will be going to let's see here. Phillies schedule. We have to look it up. We don't use our notes here on A2D, but for accuracy purposes, we want to make sure that we have the right thing. Okay, so let's see here. The Philadelphia Phillies.
The Phillies next 10 games or 20 games.
I'm not getting any reception here. Give me the Phillies next 10 games, or actually next 20, because Don wants to know.
So they play the Pirates next 4.
Pirates.
Oh, there we go. All right, so we got. Let me see. I'll read it off.
Read it off to us.
So, the Philadelphia Phillies have 4 games. Oh, that's August.
Pirates.
Yeah, so the last 4 games in July are at Pittsburgh. So I'm going to say 3-1 just to be safe.
Okay.
Bailey,
but I mean, Don wants to know. I think the next 20 games we need to go. I don't care who we play. We need to go 14-6.
Well,
they have to.
Yeah.
Right.
Nah,
right now we're 51-47. We're in a virtual tie with the Cardinals for the last wild card spot. I don't know what their schedule looks like, but to me, you can't go. You can't just be 2 games above 500.
Well, they're
not picking up any ground. They got the Diamondbacks, which
they're
beatable,
and then Pittsburgh again, and then Cincinnati for 4.
There you go, Jimmy. This is the time to make the move.
So your next 11 games are against the Pirates and the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Guess what? I'm going to change it. They got to go 15-5.
Well, you definitely got to go 9-2 in those 11.
Right.
It can't be a 6 and 5 piece over the next 11.
They
I'll
have
tell
to
you
go
that.
at least
They
15
got
and 5. They got the
Pittsburgh,
yes,
Arizona, and then Pittsburgh again
Yeah.
for the next 11
yes.
games.
They need to make a move here.
And then Cincinnati.
Hey, we're broadcasting live on A2D Radio up on the boardwalk in Ocean City. We're at all campus as we are each and every Wednesday for the Rant Booth on A2D Radio. We're on all the major platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, we're on it. Be a part of the show by adding your comments, and we've got a lot of people that have participated in the show and have come up and ranted. And would you like to do this interview? You want to do this interview?
Yeah, that'll
segment?
be cool.
All right.
Just a quick correction though before you go. I just read the end of August. The beginning of August is 2 games against the Braves, which is weird. A 2-game series against the Braves.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, that's what the Mets and Yankees have, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's interleague, though. But then you got 4 games against the Nationals, 3 games against the Marlins, and then 3 games against the Mets, 3 games against the Reds.
All teams that we should really make a move.
Yeah.
If this team is serious about,
you got to beat the Braves and you got to beat the Mets.
That's all right, but beat the teams you got to beat. All right, here we got a brander coming in. Jimmy's going to take this one.
Yeah. So we got Matt coming in from Rockland, New York. Where's Rockland, New York in relation to New York City?
It's like 30 minutes like west of New York City.
Of New York City?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're closer to like North Jersey range?
Yeah.
All right. And you're a big Yankees fan?
Yeah.
Yankees fan? What do you think of the Subway Series so far? I know you guys had a tough loss yesterday.
Yeah, I thought Jordan Montgomery didn't pitch well.
Yeah.
And I think tonight's going to be a hard game to take with Scherzer on the mound.
Well, look at the roar from that. Aaron Judge just strikes out with 2 outs. Run on first and second to end the third.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go into the bottom of the third. Mets are up 1-0.
Yep.
So what are your aspirations so far with the what is your biggest concern about the Yankees? Do you think you guys are making the World Series?
I think my biggest concern is definitely injuries.
Injury? I mean, what else is new with the Yankees, right? I mean, I have a couple of Yankees friends, and every year it's always, if we didn't have the injuries or if we didn't have the trash cans with Houston, we'd be World Series champions again. So.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, injuries always hurt us every year, but I think we'll definitely make the ALCS, and that's just a tough game that we might have to take against the Astros.
The Astros? Are you worried about the Astros?
A little bit, because they just every time we've played against them in any round of the ALCS, they've beat us.
I mean, coming out of
recent time.
Yeah, coming out of the All-Star break too, they swept you, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they swept you. So I mean, what do you think about Aaron Judge? Do you think he's going to be coming back, or do you think you're going to be losing him? Because his contract expires, and you need to be able to sign him.
Yeah, I mean, as a selfish Yankee fan, I definitely hope he comes back, but I don't know, because it's all about the money in this league. We might not have enough to get him back.
Yeah. So what if I said this to you? The Yankees lose Aaron Judge to the New York Mets, but you guys trade for Juan Soto. Are you okay with that, or would you rather keep Aaron Judge?
The Yankees lose Aaron Judge to the Mets, but we get Juan Soto.
You trade for Juan Soto.
No, I would rather have the Aaron Judge.
See, I respect that. I respect that as a loyal fan to your Yankees, because I would not do that with Bryce Harper with my Phillies.
Yeah.
So I respect that as a fan.
I mean, he's been the face of our franchise for a couple of years now. So
I mean, I hear other Yankees fans saying that he's going to be your next captain. He's going to be a Yankee for life.
Yeah.
And you guys are willing to throw Juan Soto's prime out of the way. I mean, there's a 6-year age difference right there.
Yeah,
Juan
definitely.
Soto 23, Aaron Judge 29.
Yeah.
So it is definitely tough to think about, but I respect your loyalty.
But Aaron Judge, he face of our franchise. We have the Judge Chambers out and right. I mean, just kind of hard to throw that household name away.
Yeah. So any other sports in New York that you're into? Are you a Giants?
I'm
Knicks?
a Rangers fan. I went to the Rangers game against Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Game 4.
That must have been cool. Playoff hockey is something else, dude.
Yeah, they won that. And then I'm a little bit of a Knicks fan.
A little bit. I mean, the Knicks are rough. Are you big into the NBA?
I used to be when I was younger. Then the Knicks started becoming terrible, and they lost like Carmelo Anthony when I was really young.
Yeah.
And that just stopped.
Yeah. So you guys are talking about.
I mean, I have a picture of me with Obi Toppin though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he might be trade bait to Utah.
Yeah,
Because you guys
yeah.
might be getting Donovan Mitchell.
Exactly.
So would you be cool with a Donovan Mitchell, R.J. Barrett, Jalen Brunson?
Yeah,
Julie-
I definitely yeah.
Yeah? You think you guys are better than the Sixers if you get Donovan Mitchell?
Mm,
See, I'm a Sixers fan, and I
Yeah.
love the Sixers with my heart, but I don't think the Sixers are going anywhere because we don't have a bench, and I think James
Yeah.
Harden is just old.
I think that's the same thing with the Knicks. I mean, we're not that good. I mean, it's hard to say that we're really better. It's hard to say that any team in the league that we're better than them. We take
Yeah.
a series against them.
Yeah, well, Matt, it was nice talking to you.
All right, thank you.
With your hope, I hope that the Yankees can pull off against the Mets.
Yeah, I mean, if Scherzer keeps dealing like he is.
And hopefully you guys stay injury-free.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. All right, so we are here at the Rant booth. Jimmy Rodweller, Billy Schweim here. Billy talking to some customers here at All Campus here in Ocean City, New Jersey, 10th Street. We're here talking Phillies. We're here talking basically anything you want. If you want to come up, and rant, you get 10% off any of our hats in the store. So make sure you guys come up and check us out. We're here every Wednesday as Billy Schweim comes back.
Yeah, I just got sidetracked, Jimmy. I just ran into. Hey, can you guys come over here so we can see? This is pretty cool. Come over here. Look, this family walked in and they have all throwback vintage jerseys. This is turnaround. This is Gordie Howe.
Yeah, Detroit.
I mean, look at that. The little boy's got Gordie Howe. Dad makes he does stitches all himself. Iserman jersey right there. And what do you have that's oh wow. Fedorov. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
That is really cool. Yeah, no. So, see, we got a lot of great things. We see a lot of great people. We've had a lot of great ranters coming in, talking sports with us, and you never know what you're going to see up here on the boardwalk in Ocean City in the rant booth at All Campus every Wednesday up here. And that was so you guys were talking, and I know that that the last guy you had, he was a Mets fan. Was he a Yankees fan?
And it was the first time I've ever talked to a Yankee fan, and they didn't bring up 27 rings.
Well, he was a little young. That's
he was
why.
a little younger. Yeah,
He's only seen maybe
he's probably
one or
only
two
seen
of
one of them.
Derek Jeter. Like, all right, let's do this. Let's play a game. I'm gonna say a name. I'm gonna say a team. It could be any sport.
Okay.
And you're gonna tell me you're just gonna say the first thing you think of.
All right. That sounds like a fun game.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Seattle Mariners.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Okay. Boston Red Sox.
Dustin Pedroia. I don't know why, but Dustin Pedroia.
I
always liked Dustin Pedroia as a second baseman. When I played baseball back in the day, I was a utility guy, and I just loved second base.
Boston Bruins.
Brad Marchand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Detroit Lions.
Calvin Johnson. I was thinking, don't say Jared Goff.
Well, I was going to say Barry Sanders. First person I think it was Barry Sanders for that one. All right. Chicago Bears.
Singletary.
That's a good one. Okay. Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh, man. Patrick Kane, just because he broke my heart in 2010.
How about L.A. Dodgers?
L.A. Dodgers. I'll go Kershaw.
Kershaw.
He's been around since I was freaking 10 years old.
Okay. How about let's go Houston. Well, I was going to say Houston Oilers, but they're not there anymore.
Yeah.
They're in Tennessee.
The Tennessee.
So let's go Tennessee / Houston Oilers.
Oh, man. McNair.
Okay. He passed away, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, tragically.
Yeah.
All right. See, and because you're younger, you're saying a lot of the younger guys.
Yeah, early 2000s.
Pittsburgh Pirates.
Clemente, but
okay.
The first thing that came to my mind was McCutcheon.
And that's good. You know what? When I said it to myself, I thought of Andy Van Slyke. And I don't know why. How about Barry Bonds?
Yeah, Barry Bonds started off his career.
Started his career.
Barry Bonds was a beast, and allegedly he didn't take steroids in Pittsburgh. And
by the way, there's a note up on the ESPN broadcast of the Mets-Yankees. Jacob deGrom goes 4 innings in his first rehab start.
Allows 4 earned runs and 2 home runs.
He's working on things.
I haven't seen that guy healthy in 3 seasons.
And they had the Thor, Syndergaard, and
He could be a
DeGrom,
Philly.
and he could be. I would get him.
I would get him.
The only thing that bothers me about that, when we got Familia, I'm thinking, why would we get? Like, I saw the last 3 years of Familia, and he's absolutely stunk for the Mets. What makes us think that he's going to come to Philadelphia and turn it around? So is it fool's gold to think that Thor is going to be able to do the same thing?
Well, he's having a slightly above average year this year.
Slightly above average. You know what happens when they come to Philadelphia, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, they get hit out of the park. But when it comes to the relievers, I really don't like Jeurys Familia. But I understood the signing because year in and year out, a reliever can just come out of nowhere and just have an all-star season. I mean, Pat Neshek is a perfect example of that. Dave Roberson is a great example of that. I mean, just guys all over the league that are relievers that any given year they could be an all-star.
Right.
So it worked out with Brad.
We have Jonathan Harvey says Phillies 3-1 in Pittsburgh. Phillies may struggle with the Reds and Arizona.
Yeah, I did misspeak, so
Well,
that will be at the end of August.
So here's the thing. The question that was posed to us from Don 19, the next 20 games for the Phillies, what is an acceptable record? And I said they had to go at least with what you showed me, they got to go at least 15-5.
Yeah.
Especially if they're going to really solidify themselves as a wild card team. They got to go 15-5. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
Is that an expectation that's set too high?
No, it shouldn't
against
be.
the teams that they're playing.
It shouldn't be.
No, so if they lose these games, look, and I know, it's Major League Baseball, and we have Tommy Green on my show every Sunday called On the Mound with Tommy Green, brought to you by Aaron Beta's GSF Golf and Performance Center. Tommy says, pitching, but you're also playing against other professional athletes who are just as good.
And all these teams, the bottom feeder teams that we are playing, these guys are auditioning to get traded to go to teams that should be in the playoffs.
Right.
So that should be the bottom line. So these teams that we should win against, these guys are going to be playing their hearts out. These guys are playing for they're not going to have anything to lose.
No, I hear you, but the Phillies, if you're going to be a playoff team, you have to win.
It's not an excuse.
I'll accept 14-6 with that schedule, but they have to really start to put it together. And of course, when Bryce Harper gets back, even more so. But
like over these next 20, you should expect them to get a 10 games above 500. So in order to do that, they're 4 games above 500.
So you don't think I'm setting my expectations too high for the last 14?
No, it's not unfair at all.
14-6 is, I think it's doable.
That's an 8-game swing, so that means you're going to be 12 games above 500 if you go 14-6.
Yeah, that's what we need. I mean, it's getting August. I mean, once August starts, you're talking about the dog days of summer.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the heat of the summer, now you're 4 months into the season. People are getting hurt or coming back from injury. Now it's time to put it together.
Yeah, I have a question. For Nick Castellanos, do you think it's just a year where a baseball guy, he's a professional hitter, do you think it's just a year where he's struggling and you think he's going to bounce back? Maybe not next year, but maybe next year. But do you think there's a little bit of unfair criticism for Nick Castellanos?
No, I don't. And I'll tell you why. Because he hit over 310 last year. He had a monster year.
Yeah.
And he comes to Philadelphia. He's batting, 240 something?
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like it happens.
I don't know.
And Frankie Montas is a great name from Oakland. And you pair that with Ramon Laureano, the center fielder.
Right.
I think that's a excellent trade piece that the Phillies can
Who's the center fielder from the Royals that everybody wants?
Benintendi.
You like him?
I like Andy
Is that doable? By the way, the Mets just went up 2-0 on the Yankees.
Yeah,
Subway Series here.
The Mets are good. We talk about the Mets are going to be a series within these next 20 games. You need to win that series if you're the Philadelphia Phillies.
We're on A2D Radio. We're up here on the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey at All Campus. Our A2D Radio question of the day is, you believe the Phillies will make the Major League Baseball playoffs? Do you agree or disagree with that? Sir, do you agree? You think the Phillies are going to make the playoffs? All right, there we go. We got a real true fan right there.
Definitely
he does,
4 for 4.
He does think the Phillies are going to make the playoffs. I am a little bit more pessimistic. But with that being said, I want to see it. I mean, I want to see the Phillies. There's nothing better than baseball in October,
Yeah,
man.
and we also talked about earlier on the show how we didn't have all these 4-for-4 kids come onto the show. When the Phillies do win, it's just going to be that much sweeter. When they make it into the playoffs, it's going to make it that first game of playoff baseball in Philly back again. It's going to be
Crowd will be into it.
It'll be unbelievable.
Have you ever been to a Phillies playoff game?
I have. I've been to one in 2008.
I've been to numerous Phillies baseball games in 80, 83, 93, of course, never forget. But the biggest cheer, the biggest crowd noise I've ever heard in my whole entire life was when Victorino hit that grand slam against Sabathia.
You were at that game?
Yeah. I will never forget the pandemonium, the hugging of complete strangers, high-fiving, jumping up and down in the aisle, beer, popcorn being spilled. There was nothing like when Shane Victorino hit that grand slam. Keep in mind, after Brett Myers hit like 13 foul balls off CC Sabathia and then drew a walk to load the bases, and then Victorino hits that grand slam. I'm telling you, there was nothing like it. It was something I'll never forget.
Yeah.
And I don't want these people to forget the insurance doctor, one of our sponsors of the show, the insurance doctor. If you have an insurance claim, don't call your insurance company first. Call the insurance doctor. You wouldn't go to court without your lawyer. You don't go to an IRS audit without your accountant. Do not go to the insurance company without the insurance doctor. If you have a claim, give them a call, 856-874-8377. Ask for Frank Sisto, and that's the insurance doctor. You don't want to mess with the insurance companies. Frank is an advocate. The doctor is your advocate. He's there for you. He'll make sure you get the biggest claim possible. The insurance doctor. Don't forget. I think we started talking about the Sixers a little bit.
Yeah.
So we got the Phillies. We talked a little bit Eagles. Let's talk a little Flyers to complete the 4-for-4 before we have more Ranners coming here. The Flyers, by bringing D'Angelo in, a lot of
that was a little weird, right?
Well, a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of
pandemonium, indifference.
A lot of criticisms because of his checkered past, fighting with teammates, racial slurs and whatnot. Obviously, this is the land of second and third opportunities, but he's coming back home to play. That might help him. Could also hurt him too.
I will give you a hot take right now. I believe that the Flyers will go further than the Sixers within the next 2 years.
The Flyers will go further than the Sixers.
They have.
So you think the Sixers then are going backwards?
I think it's the beginning of the end.
No, I think
if they don't win anything this year or next year, it's over.
I think the Sixers are going to be all right next year. I really do. I think they're going to be good. Are they going to be?
They don't have a bench.
They don't have a bench, but I don't think he's done. Remember. Now we said Harden on paper took a $15 million pay cut to stay in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
that does lower they do have more room under the cap.
Yeah, they have.
So he could bring in something else. You don't know. He could be. Look, if they get rid of Harris and maybe I don't want to get rid of Maxey.
No,
but if they can get rid of Maxey and Thibault,
in my opinion, Maxey is untouchable.
Harris and Thibault.
Yeah, maybe get something for
like a good bench player.
Yeah.
So we're here at the Rant Booth as we are each and every Wednesday. People can come up and talk with us in the Rant Booth on A2D Radio and all the major platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, we're on it. We're here every Wednesday, and you can rant. Talk to us about whatever you want to talk about. Who do we have in here now? Let's bring in one of our new ranters here, and we'll see. We're going to be talking. Oh, Nick from Haddon Heights in my backyard. I'm from Collingswood. We used to play Haddon Heights every year. The Garnets, the Panthers and the Garnets used to be. Haddon Heights was our first game of the year.
They were?
Yeah, Collingswood Haddon Heights was a Colonial Conference. Conference is no longer together in football, but Yeah, Haddon Heights, and my daughter goes to St. Rosa Lima
She does.
in Haddon Heights. Yeah.
That's cool.
So you want to talk about the Eagles? You excited
Yeah.
about the Eagles? Today was the first day of training camp.
Yeah, I was really excited because I think the Eagles are going to do good this year because that AJ Green trade. I mean,
Like
Brown.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown.
By the way, we're talking with Nick from Haddon Heights, and Nick's a big Eagles fan. So you think AJ Brown is going to have the biggest impact on all the new guys they brought to the team?
Yeah.
We got Jordan Davis, right, from
Uh-huh.
Georgia, and N'Kobe Dean. They were two great draft choices,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
I stood next to Jordan Hall at the Maxwell dinner.
You did?
I looked up. He's a behemoth. He's huge. He's unbelievable. And if he can plug up the middle, I think we got something there.
Same.
How about the linebacker core? N'Kobe Dean and Kazir White they got him from the Chargers. I like him too.
I think the Eagles defense is good and offense. So if they can both step it up a little from last season, then I think that we could have a great team and we could maybe head it a little further in the playoffs and maybe go to the Super Bowl. You never know.
So how disappointed with you? Were you happy that they made the playoffs? They didn't play well against Tampa Bay. They lost by 31-0. Did that upset you? Were you really upset about that?
Yeah, I was upset about that, and the defense, the poorly played, and no one was really guarding anyone.
Right.
They were just riding along with them, and then after they got a fast break, after they had a fast break upfield, then it was touchdown.
So I think the Eagles have addressed all their needs this year moving forward. And look, let's face it, the NFC East really isn't that strong.
Yeah, they aren't.
Do you hate the Cowboys?
100%. I hate them.
Boy. Now, let me ask you this question, Nick. A lot of the young people that we have come up here in the rant booth with us, they're all like teams from somewhere else. Like they like the Patriots, or they like the Celtics, or the Chargers. Or do you like the Phillies, Flyers, Sixers, and Eagles?
Yeah.
So you're a hometown guy. All right. Gotta love that. So you like the Eagles, you like the Phillies.
Yep.
Do you think our A2D question of the day, and we've had a lot of people, you're going to either agree with this statement or you're going to disagree with this statement. The Phillies will make the playoffs this year. Do you agree with that or disagree with that?
I think they will. I think they'll pull it off somehow.
Bryce Harper should be back by the end of August-ish.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to be healthy? And I mean, let's face it, he broke his thumb, and he's got to grab the bat. Do you think he's going to come back and be the same Bryce Harper that we saw before he got hurt?
No, I think he's going to be a step down from what he was, but I think he's still going to be a consistent player.
So you think it'll be a good catalyst for having his leadership back on the team is going to help the team in general?
Yep.
I like that. So you agree with that? You think the Phillies will make the playoffs?
Yep.
I like your spirit. I like your enthusiasm, and it's also a pleasure to talk with somebody your age that loves the Phillies, Flyers, Sixers, and Eagles. What about the Sixers?
Sixers, I think the Harden, he's good and all, but I think he needs to step it up, and I think he needs to be a little better than he is, because right now he's iffy, because he was good going into the playoffs, but then when he got in the playoffs, he was averaging 8 points a game.
Yeah, he didn't play well throughout the playoffs. Nick, what grade are you in?
I'm going in the 6th.
Do you ever think about maybe going into radio and TV as you get older?
Yeah, I've thought about it.
You're doing pretty well. You have a good knowledge of your teams. I'm just wondering what team do you think will win the next championship? The Eagles, the Phillies, the Flyers, or the Sixers?
Next championship, I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles, because last year they made it into the playoffs, and even though they lost, I still think they can do really well this year, and I think that every year they're getting better and better.
Now, when you watch the Eagles game, who do you watch the Eagles game with? Your dad and everybody, the whole family get around the TV?
I watch it with my whole family around the TV, and every time they get a touchdown, I just go off and.
Now, do you sing the Eagles fight song?
Yeah, I love it. I love that song.
How many games have you actually been to? Have you been to the Lincoln Financial Field?
I've been there about 3-4 times.
And have they won the games when you're there? Are you a good luck charm, or are you a jinx?
I'm
a jinx. I went to the first 3 home games last year. They lost, so I stopped going. Then they started winning.
I'm kind of a good luck charm. I'm like in the middle.
Okay.
Because this year, when I went to the Eagles game,
Come up closer so we get you on TV here.
when I was to the on the Eagles, like when I was in when I was at the Eagles game,
Right.
And it was preseason, and they were versus the Patriots, and it was kind of harsh. And that was the only game I've been there where they lost.
Right.
And it was a big blow. Like I was very mad. I did not like that game at all.
So I do think that the Eagles have probably. I don't see the Sixers winning the next championship. Just don't see it. I think they only have a short window here with Embiid.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Harding has enough juice left.
But Maxey.
Yeah, I love Maxey. You like Maxey?
Maxey's young and healthy. I think he can. To be honest, I think he can be the next MVP. The next Ja Morant.
Wow, Ja Morant. That's been pretty big shoes to fill, but I like that. I just think the Phillies they have a lot more. They have a lot of needs. I believe the Sixers going backwards. Flyers, we know where they are, so I agree with you. I think the Eagles will be the next team to win.
Yep.
Nick, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming into the rant booth. Let's give Nick a big round of applause here, and let's go Eagles.
Let's go Eagles.
All right, let's go Birds. We're up here at the rant booth in Ocean City, New Jersey, at all campus on the boardwalk as we talk to all the people up here to come in and talk sports with us every Wednesday night at all campus, and that's good, Nick. Let Jimmy, our co-host, come back in. And Jimmy, I'll tell you what, Jimmy, what a great job by Nick, man.
Oh, yeah, he saved the day.
He saved the day.
He saved the day with the audience.
That's awesome. And, I asked you this question. Who do you think the next team is going to be? I would have to say the Eagles. You think it's the Flyers, though, right?
No, between the Sixers and the
Flyers.
Yeah, I think the Flyers will go further than the Sixers within the next 2 years.
I think the Eagles with the offseason they had, and I think Jalen Hurts is I think he's on the right trajectory.
Well, yeah, I think they're a quarterback away from being Super Bowl contenders.
Well, you don't think it's him, though? You don't think it's Jalen Hurts?
Until I see it, he won't be. He's my quarterback, but I won't have the faith in him until I see it because I've seen the same things from Jalen Hurts year in and year out since Alabama.
What's the one argument you have about his game?
What's
the one thing that you're going to tell me about Jalen Hurts' game right now?
That's good or bad?
That's bad. That's negative.
He can't go past his second read, and once his first read is covered up, he automatically bails from the pocket.
Well,
runs to his right,
and that's what he's done in college.
Exactly. He hasn't improved since Alabama days.
Who's better quarterback, Kyler Murray or Jalen Hurts?
Is the contract involved in this?
No,
or no,
just the player.
Just the player.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray.
Really?
Yeah, I think Kyler Murray. But Kyler Murray also had a stud in DeAndre Hopkins. So, and then once
now we got Brown, A.J. Brown, right?
Well, yeah, but then
and Devontae Smith.
No, yeah, I hear
Quez
you.
Watkins.
But Kyler Murray showed the ability
Zach
to throw the
Pascal.
football.
I mean, we got and Dallas Goedert.
Yeah. I mean, I hear you. I just until I see it, that's what I'm going to believe it, and that's what I'm going to give my heart and soul to Jalen Hurts.
Jonathan Harvey chimes in. Phillies should go 14-6 in their next
yeah,
one. He agrees with me.
Yeah,
agrees with both of us. Here's my knock. Here's my knock on Jalen Hurts. I do believe that he pulls the ball down. He makes the first read. He makes the first read and he pulls the ball down too quick. But I think his problem is he's a little apprehensive about throwing the ball in tight spots because he probably doesn't have confidence in his arm.
No.
I think that comes with experience.
Yeah.
So give him this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him this year. They have all the pieces. They have a more talented roster than 17-18.
See, this Jalen Hurts, I mean, he played at Oklahoma. He played at Alabama. He's got good lineage, right?
I mean, he's always been a winner.
Yeah.
But the only downfall to his game, and this is translated into the NFL, is his inability to look past his second read, look past his first read, and always bail from the pocket.
You know what? Being a second-string quarterback my whole life, in high school and college, I was always – one thing that I believe in quarterbacks have an intangible – they have to have a few intangibles, something you can't coach.
Captain intangible.
Leadership and the ability to win.
Yeah.
You might not have the strong. I've known because I played behind some guys that they were a little bigger than me, or they had a better arm than me, but I never. For instance, when I played with my freshman team, I was 9-0.
Okay.
Right? Didn't have the strongest arm, but we won.
Yeah.
I had the ability to get the guys right to win games.
Winning games is the most important stat
because
for
my arm strength wasn't good moving forward. I never got that opportunity to play because I wasn't flashy and showy.
So
I think that if I had that opportunity to play for like this is now Jalen Hurts' first. This will be his first complete year. This is his second year. Like last year was his first year. He started all the games.
Yeah.
I think that's invaluable.
Yeah.
That's invaluable for him to do. And I think this year he's going to have a breakout year. I really do.
Just real quick before we let Austin in, I believe that winning is the number one stat for a quarterback in the NFL, and that's why I'm a big Jimmy Garoppolo guy.
Yeah.
All Jimmy Garoppolo does is win.
There's another example, Jimmy, if he was hurt last year.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm not a big Garoppolo guy by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm not like this. I'm not the Philadelphia person that boos if you didn't win yesterday. You know what I mean?
I just need Jalen Hurts to be the Jimmy Garoppolo. I need
Here
him
we
to
go.
make
Don said
throws.
the Eagles are going to have a good year, but I hope they suck during week one. Why?
He's a Detroit
Don
guy from Detroit.
And when I say the Detroit Lions, the first person I thought of Barry Sanders.
Calvin Johnson.
All right. Who we got next?
All right, we got Austin from Medina, Ohio. He
Oh.
wants to talk about the Eagles and the playoff picture.
You mean he doesn't want to talk about the Ohio State Buckeyes? What's up, Austin?
Hi, nice to meet you.
What grade are you in? How old are you?
Going in freshman year.
Now, are you close? So you're from Ohio?
Yeah.
Where's Medina? Where's it close to?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, so you're a Cavaliers fan?
No.
Are you a Cleveland Browns fan?
No. All Philadelphia.
Is that why you're here?
Yeah.
Did you go to a Phillies? Have you been to a Phillies game?
I've been to an Eagles game.
You been to an Eagles game?
Yeah.
I went. So I'll never. Here's my Cleveland memory. I went to a Cleveland Browns game. The Eagles were playing the Browns at the Mistake on the Lake, right in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And you know who? A fight broke out between. There were Pittsburgh Steelers fans in the stand, and they weren't even worried about us. They were worried about the Steelers. So the Browns in Cleveland and Pittsburgh, they don't like each other, do they?
No.
So that's a big rivalry. I mean, I'm thinking we're in the stands, and all of a sudden they're fighting the Steelers fans.
Yeah.
That was pretty wild. So you like the Eagles? How do you think you want to talk a little bit about the Eagles and the playoff picture with the Phillies?
The Eagles.
Oh, just the Eagles. So we were just discussing the Eagles. What do you think the Eagles? What do you think their record's going to be? Remember, there's 17 games this year, right?
Yeah.
What do you think their record's going to be? Can they make the playoffs? Can they win the division?
I mean, they have one of the easiest schedules. They got at least 11 wins in them.
Yeah, we all agreed that we think it's going to be 11-6. That's what you think they'll do? What do you think? Do you like Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of him.
Are you a big fan of Jalen Hurts? A lot of criticism on his game last year. Do you think this 1 year of experience really helped him?
Yeah, because last year they had a real young team, and I think they're going to grow together this year.
What person in the offseason that the Eagles pick up do you think will have the biggest impact on this team?
I think Jalen throwing A.J. Brown will help a lot.
A.J. Brown will help a lot?
Yeah.
See, I think the Eagles' biggest weakness last year was their defense. They were horrible. Their linebacking core was pitiful. Singleton couldn't stop anything. Matter of fact, Singleton would make a stop 10 yards down the field and get up celebrate like he stuffed somebody on the goal line. This year, our linebacker play, Hassan Reddick, even though he's an edge rusher, Hassan Reddick, Kazir White, and I believe Nakobe Dean. I think our linebackers are going to be that much better this year.
Yeah, I agree. But I think this year will help a lot with Devontae Smith as a wide receiver too.
Yeah, there's no depth. They're two. Look, I put them up against anybody in the East. Our receiving core.
Yeah.
Name another. I mean, who does Washington have? I can't even name them.
Yeah, they only have Terry McLaurin. That's it.
That's it. I mean, and he's not a big guy. He's not like A.J. Brown.
No.
So you think they can win the NFC East?
Yeah, easily.
Easily. I like your confidence, man.
Yeah.
So what do you like the Phillies too?
Yeah, I like the Phillies.
Do you think so? We have an A2D question today. Do you think the Phillies can make the playoffs? Do you agree with that or disagree with that?
I agree with that.
You agree with that?
The new manager's helping them.
Are they in their next 20 games? What do you think their record? What would you like to see them do? They're going to play the Pirates. We said they're going to play the Diamondbacks, the Reds, and they got the Reds coming up. What are they in their next 20 games? What do you want to see their record be?
Well, I want them to win all 20.
Well, yeah, but realistic.
But probably round split at 10-10.
See, I think you're setting the bar too low. I think we got to go at least 14-6 if we're going to stay in the hunt. And what about the Sixers? How's your feeling on the Sixers this year?
I think they choked a little last year, but I think they'll come back stronger this year.
A lot of criticism with James Harden not being the guy he once was. Do you still think that? Remember, you got Milwaukee, you got the Celtics in the East, Miami Heat.
Yeah, I think the Celtics and Heat will be hard to stroke.
Yeah,
but I think we can still do pretty good.
Now, what's your favorite sport?
Football.
So you're a football guy?
Yeah.
And do you play football on a team?
No, I play lacrosse.
You play lacrosse?
Yeah.
Why don't you play football?
I don't know.
Maybe not big enough. I guess.
Yeah, not big enough.
Yeah, you gotta be big. But you're young.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about getting into radio and television?
Sort of.
Would you like to talk sports for a living on TV?
Yeah, that'd
or
be
radio?
That'd be
cool.
pretty fun.
I'm on. I do radio. I'm on ESPN every Saturday and Sunday.
That's cool.
The Locker Room with Billy Schwein. That's me. 97.3 ESPN every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Check it out.
All right, I will.
All right, man. Thank you so much for coming
nice
in the
to
rant
meet you.
booth. There's Austin from Medina, Ohio. He likes the Eagles' chances to win the NFC East and maybe pick up a playoff win or two. I'll tell you what, the enthusiasm is always this way. This time of year, they just opened up training camp, Jimmy, and we're all hyped. Yeah. Everybody's hyped.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this team. There really shouldn't be any reason why they don't come out guns a-blazing. I heard Howard Eskin on WIP. He's saying 8-1 in the first 9 games. And you look at their schedule, and it is doable. Their schedule is very light to start.
They said they got the third easiest schedule in the league.
Yes, very, very light.
By the
schedule.
way, your boy Jonathan Harvey said, Don, Eagles 33, Lions 27. Where's he getting 27 for the Lions?
I mean, Jared Goff is their
where?
I mean,
the Lions. Good Lord.
Yeah, I don't think the Lions are putting up 27 points. I think the spread right now is Eagles.
By the way,
-4.
I was shocked that the LA Rams with the quarterback. What's his name? I'm losing my mind here.
Matt Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford.
Yeah.
I didn't really think he was going to. I mean, I thought they were going to be better than they were with Goff, but I did not see them playing as well as they did.
I mean,
did you think Stafford was that good?
I always thought he was a top 10 quarterback.
See, I never did. And matter of fact, last year in the rant booth while we were here, we ranked the quarterbacks, and I said I thought Hurts was better than Stafford.
Oh man, no, I always saw that Stafford just had a cannon.
By the way, it looks like the Mets are still up 2-0. Oh! Scherzer just gave up a double, but it looked like he was going to get tagged out. I don't know who hit it. Who hit that?
I can't 28. Donaldson.
Donaldson hit that, and he just made it under the tag. The ball came off the wall. Scherzer was right down the middle, actually. Mets are up 2-0. St. Louis is up. We just got an update. St. Louis is up.
The Giants are on a skid. Giants 7-game losing streak right now, so they may just lose. Yeah, they may just lose their way out of a playoff spot. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, we've had a great show tonight. We've talked to several people. We have 10 people we talked today in the rant booth. And hey, man, it's the middle of summer. It's the 27th of July. The 27th of July. The Eagles opened up training camp yesterday. The Phillies beat the Braves and take 2 out of 3 as they head to Pittsburgh for 4 games. St. Louis is up on the Toronto Blue Jays. And right now, as of right now, we're tied with the Cardinals. But if the Cardinals win tonight, there'll be a game up.
A game out. Yeah.
Half a game up.
But we do own the tiebreaker.
And Well, I'll tell you what, Jimmy, it was really good working
Yeah,
with you
it was
today, man.
awesome.
We had a
Thank
lot
you.
of fun talking sports. We played a little game there.
It was definitely a lot of fun.
John Coyle is out. He'll be back, I guess, next week. Jimmy will be here. I think you're going to be here. I
Yeah.
don't know. We'll see how that goes. We're up here at All Campus on the Boardwalk in Ocean City every Wednesday night for the Rant Booth. We're on A2D Radio, all the major platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We rant, we have fun, and we appreciate everybody checking us out. Sending questions in or comments. We like that. And once again, I want to thank John Coyle, All Campus, Tommy Arnone, A2D Radio. We'll see you next week, same time right here in the Rant Booth at All Campus on the Boardwalk in Ocean City. This is Billy Schweim signing off for Jimmy Rodwell. Not Rodwell. It's Jimmy Rodwell,
Yeah.
but we'll call him Rod. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Have a good one.